Thousands of people across our region have already voted and are hitting the polls throughout the day today. We start with team coverage with Sophia Thomas in Burlington and Cam Smith in St. Albans. Sophia, you've been out talking with voters all morning, specifically on local issues. What are you hearing?
John, it is action-packed here at Orchard Elementary as voters decide who they want to write Vermont's next chapter. Now, some are eager to fill in every bubble, but others only have eyes for the presidential race.
Doug Eddy was one of the first voters in line for the polls at South Burlington's Orchard School. He's eager to usher in a new president. Local elections, on the other hand.
I'm caught up in going to work, coming home, doing all the regular day-to-day stuff. And so my mind has been distracted, if you could say it like that, by the national races.
Eddy's not the only one paying closer attention to national races.
Just voting, Democratic for the most part, but, I've heard some names float around here and there, but not too much rhyme or reason behind it.
But political analysts say there are state races that deserve a closer look. 30 state Senate seats are up for grabs. Democrats need to win re-election bids for 20 to maintain their supermajority. If the GOP gains several more seats, experts say they could chip away at Democratic sway and sustain Scott's vetoes on bills many Democrats historically override.
Those are the kinds of issues where Phil Scott might be able to get his way more often were the Senate to shift a little bit.
That's inspiring some voters to stick to one party across the ballot.
In the past, I've often voted one way for Senate and House and the other for the president so that it did have a balance of power, but I kind of think that this year we really need to go in a straight line.
Johnson is also watching the race for lieutenant governor. Though up against incumbent David Zuckerman, Johnson believes Republican opponent John Rogers shares enough beliefs with longtime favorite Phil Scott to cause an upset.
Maybe he can tap into some of that Phil Scott magic.
You can learn more about the local names on your ballot by visiting Vermont's new voting guide, which breaks down each candidate and their top concerns. Live in South Burlington, Sophia Thomas, Channel 3 News.
Sophia, thank you. The ballot is packed with local races, but as she just mentioned, all eyes are on the vote for president. Channel 3's Cam Smith joins us live now in St. Albans. Cam, what have you seen so far today?
Yeah, John, the clerk here in St. Albans says by 8 o'clock this morning, they had already processed roughly 120 people and an additional 1,400 people that voted early. They were processed as of Friday. Now, there has been a steady stream of voters coming in and out of St. Albans City Hall here today. So far, more than 200,000 Vermonters have already cast their ballots. National polls signal that the race for president could be extremely close. Now, it's difficult to know when we'll have a definitive answer between Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, but voters I spoke with in Franklin County today say they're hopeful that with whatever outcome, reactions will be peaceful.
I'd say in the last two elections, it feels a lot more divisive, which is unfortunate. And that's why I think it's really important for us to remember to just take care of each other no matter what we believe.
People should be civil, nice to each other, obviously, have differences of opinion on, principles and that kind of thing, but there shouldn't be this negativity, this hatred, revenge, and all that.
And the people I spoke with also emphasized the importance of getting out to vote today. On Monday, both presidential candidates spent their final day campaigning in key battleground states, including Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Back here in St. Albans, City Hall is just one of two polls that are open today. The other is at the Collins Hurley Sports Complex. And if we haven't told you yet, the polls close here at 7, so come out and get your vote in before that. Live in St. Albans, Cam Smith, Channel 3 News.